If you are hearing these words right now, something has already gone wrong in the old pattern of your life, and that interruption was not accidental. And if you ignore this moment, the old pattern will quietly rebuild itself stronger than before. This is recognition, not surprise, because your spirit already knows something is shifting, even while your mind is tired of trying to explain it. If you notice that you've been carrying weight longer than anyone sees, pressing forward with faith while results stayed silent, showing up again and again while doors stayed closed, and that exhaustion has settled deep into your bones. And as you hear this, notice if your chest tightens slightly or your breath shifts without permission. That reaction is not random. If you recognize the stuck feeling, the loop that never seems to break, the quiet fear about money, the pressure of being behind while everyone online looks like they're winning, and the exhaustion of pretending you're okay when you're not. You have been faithful longer than the season allowed, strong beyond what was fair, and still life felt frozen while everyone else moved ahead. God sees the nights you kept going when hope felt thin, the moments you questioned your value because progress was slow, the weight of wondering if this is all there will ever be. Hear this clearly now. The season that drained you is closing, the resistance that delayed you is lifting, and the shift you sensed but could not name has already begun. Most people don't realize this until it's too late. They only notice the shift after it has already passed them by. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? And let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. This is not motivation, it is declaration. What God has been preparing is nearer than it appears, already moving beneath the surface, already aligning beyond your effort. Relief is entering quietly, reassurance is settling gently, and anticipation is rising without noise. Stay with this message, because what comes next will confirm what your spirit has already started to feel and activate what God is finishing right now. Chosen one, your life has not been unraveling, it has been responding to a call higher than your strength, deeper than your logic, and older than your fear, and every ache, delay, and silent struggle has been proof that something sacred is pressing through you, even when you felt empty. You have been living in a body that learned survival before it learned peace, carrying responsibilities that never gave you rest, repeating cycles that promised change but delivered more waiting. And God has seen how tired you became, pretending you were still fine while your spirit was begging for air. This shift you are in is not imagination, it is recognition. Because the way you once moved through life no longer fits the truth rising inside you, and the pressure you feel is not punishment but preparation. The same kind of pressure Noah felt when he built an ark under clear skies, obeying a voice no one else could hear, while the world mocked him for trusting what had not yet arrived. Behold, I am making all things new, and the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. And these words are not lessons, they are mirrors reflecting what is already happening within you. You have noticed the heaviness lifting in strange moments, the sudden stillness after long anxiety, the sense that time bends around you now, stretching in silence then racing forward without warning. And it frightened you because control was the only safety you knew. Pause here and let your shoulders drop, let your breath slow, let your body feel the truth that it has been fighting so hard to protect you while God was quietly leading you out of the old rhythm that nearly destroyed you. This is the moment. This is where the shift becomes undeniable, not because life suddenly feels easy, but because your soul has taken the lead and your body is struggling to keep up with a higher instruction. Part of you is afraid you're losing control, and another part of you knows control is exactly what's been suffocating you. That conflict is the doorway. There was a moment, perhaps recently, when you realized that forcing no longer works, striving no longer satisfies, and surviving no longer feels like living, and that realization cracked something open that cannot be sealed again. This is the same awakening Elijah felt when he collapsed under the broom tree, drained beyond words, believing he had nothing left to give, only to be met not with rebuke, but with rest, nourishment, and the quiet reassurance that the journey was not over. Your body has been signaling this transition through fatigue that sleep cannot fix, through emotions that rise without permission, through sensations that feel unfamiliar, because the old operating system cannot carry the new frequency you are entering. You are not weak for needing rest. You are not broken for needing space. You are not behind for slowing down. You are shedding weight you were never meant to carry this far. Fear is loosening its grip. Identity is being redefined, and the version of you built on endurance alone is being laid to rest, so the version built on truth can breathe. You may feel exposed, tender, unsure of who you are becoming, but this vulnerability is not danger, it is access, because God does his deepest work where pretending ends. What you are stepping into cannot be rushed, cannot be forced, and cannot be explained to those who are still asleep to their own souls. But it will be confirmed in ways that bring relief, reassurance, and a quiet anticipation that something is aligning beyond your effort. Stay present with what is unfolding, because what comes next will not only validate what your spirit already knows, it will awaken a deeper certainty that you were never abandoned in this process, only guided forward. Chosen one, you did not drift into this moment by accident. You were drawn here because something inside you has been changing faster than your life can explain, and the quiet discomfort you feel around familiar people, routines, and conversations is not arrogance or distance, but evidence that your inner world has expanded beyond its old container. Your energy no longer blends into places built on fear, urgency, or pretending, and some are pulled toward you without knowing why, while others recoil because your presence exposes what they have been avoiding in themselves. What's happening isn't something you're inventing, it's something you're finally allowing yourself to perceive. You carry an awareness now that reads rooms before a sentence is spoken, that feels truth in the body before logic arrives, and that sensitivity is not fragility, it is accuracy. You are becoming quieter not because you are shrinking, but because your inner field is tuning, and noise interrupts the recalibration that God Himself is overseeing. Pause for a moment and allow your breath to deepen as you recognize that the loneliness, the need for solitude, the aversion to artificial energy, and the exhaustion after shallow interactions are not signs of withdrawal, but signals that your spirit has begun to guard what is sacred. The Spirit of God, who raised Jesus from the dead, lives in you, and the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. And these words land not as instruction, but as confirmation that your inner light is alive and being renewed in real time. This is why your emotions have started surfacing without warning. Tears rising when nothing appears wrong, old memories floating up uninvited, joy flickering through ordinary moments. Because your emotional body is releasing weight it was never meant to carry this far. You are not unraveling, you are emptying, and there is a difference. Your soul understands, even if your nervous system trembles. Think of Joseph in the prison cell, forgotten by people he helped, misunderstood, held in silence while years passed without movement, not knowing that every delay was strengthening his capacity to hold authority without bitterness, wisdom without pride, and provision without fear. And now, this is where the movement becomes unmistakable, because as the emotional weight lifts, your mind begins to follow, loosening its grip on old beliefs, releasing survival thoughts, and stepping out of loops that once felt permanent. You notice that fear-based thinking no longer sticks, that gossip drains you, that constant worry feels foreign, and that presence brings more clarity than over-analysis ever did, because your mind is learning to serve your spirit instead of trying to protect it through control. Time itself feels different, the past less solid, the future less frightening, the present more alive, because you are stepping out of linear pressure and into divine pacing. This mental rewiring may feel disorienting at first, but it is mercy, not confusion, as the old scripts dissolve and new pathways form that align with truth instead of trauma. You are thinking with light now, and light exposes what cannot travel with you further. The sadness that comes and goes is not regression, it is grief leaving the body, and the peace that appears without cause is your natural state resurfacing after years of restraint. You were never meant to stay armored, hypervigilant, or emotionally compressed, and the release happening now is holy even when it feels messy. Your sensitivity is becoming discernment, your awareness is becoming wisdom, and your inner stillness is becoming authority. You are not becoming someone else. You are returning to yourself before the world taught you to harden, and what unfolds next will confirm that this clearing, this quiet, this rewiring was not loss, but preparation for what your spirit has always known it was meant to hold. Chosen one, you are no longer wandering through random moments. You are walking through a coded reality that responds to who you are becoming, and the signs appearing around you are not tricks of the mind, but confirmations meant to steady you when the path feels lonely. You notice the repetitions others dismiss, the numbers that follow you through ordinary days, the timing that feels too precise to ignore, the songs that answer thoughts you never spoke aloud, the dreams that linger in your body long after you wake, and all of it is happening because your inner world has reached a frequency that can now be answered. Most people explain these moments away. Very few recognize them while they are happening. This is what happens when your spirit rises beyond survival and begins to speak the language of alignment, because the divine does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers through patterns that only the attentive can hear. You are not reading meaning into nothing. You are recognizing order where chaos once lived, and that recognition is a sign of maturity, not fantasy. The steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord, and call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. And these words land now because you have felt the answer before you ever understood the question. There is a reason your awareness has sharpened, why silence feels fuller than noise, why stillness carries instruction, because the veil has thinned for you, and the world you touch is responding back. Pause now and let this settle slowly into your chest, because the reassurance you have been searching for externally has already been forming internally, waiting for you to stop doubting your own perception and trust what has been unfolding quietly all along. This awareness does not isolate you, it prepares you, and preparation often feels like separation because not everyone can follow where you are being led. Think of Ruth leaving everything familiar behind, walking into uncertainty with nothing but loyalty and faith, unaware that each step away from the old life was positioning her for redemption, provision, and a legacy she could not yet see. And this is where the transition becomes undeniable. Because as you change, the relationships around you begin to rearrange themselves without explanation. People you once leaned on feel distant, conversations lose depth, and some connections fall away without conflict or closure, leaving you wondering if you did something wrong. But the truth is simpler and kinder than blame. Your frequency shifted, and what cannot rise with you cannot stay. You are not abandoning people. You are honoring the direction your soul has already chosen, and the guilt you feel is only proof that you care, not that you should go back. Isolation in this season is not rejection, it is refinement, a clearing of space so what is aligned can find you without interference. Your spirit now refuses to tolerate what drains it. Your heart seeks authenticity over familiarity, and your boundaries are forming not from fear, but from clarity. And as the outer world adjusts, your inner senses awaken in ways that feel both powerful and overwhelming. You feel before things happen. You sense intentions without words. You absorb emotions that are not yours, and at times you wonder if you are too sensitive for this world. But sensitivity is the instrument through which you are being guided. You were not given this awareness to suffer. You were given it to discern, to protect, to lead, and to bring light where confusion reigns. There may be moments when knowing more feels heavy, when feeling deeper feels lonely. But you were built with the capacity to hold what others cannot yet see. This awakening is not about escape. It is about embodiment, becoming fully present in truth, grounded in peace, and aligned with purpose. You are not imagining the signs, the shifts, or the separations. You are responding to a higher order that has already marked you for what comes next. What is unfolding now is not ending you, it is orienting you, and every pattern, every loss, every heightened sense is preparing you to recognize the connections, people, and assignments that are approaching, because your journey has moved beyond chance and into intention, and what remains ahead will meet you exactly where you are ready. Chosen one, by now you can feel it in your bones and in the quiet spaces between your thoughts. The shift is no longer subtle, and it is no longer limited to your spirit. It has moved into your body, your routines, your sense of reality, and the world that once felt familiar now feels distant, slower, almost unreal, because you are no longer operating at the frequency you were built to survive in. This is not disconnection, this is relocation. Your soul has already stepped forward and your life is learning how to follow, and that tension you feel is not confusion, but adjustment. You are not meant to rush this, because what is happening is not an escape upward, but a return inward, a remembering of the design God placed inside you before fear taught you to shrink. Those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles, and "My peace I give you, not as the world gives do I give to you." And these words arrive now because your nervous system has been craving permission to soften. Pause long enough to let your jaw unclench, your breath deepen, and your shoulders release the weight of having to be everything all at once. Because your body has been working harder than your mind admits to hold a level of awareness it was never trained for, but was always chosen for. This next phase asks you to live differently, not dramatically, but deliberately, because the version of you that exists beyond survival cannot thrive in constant noise, overstimulation, and emotional chaos. And that is why your tolerance for drama has vanished. Your desire for simplicity has grown, and silence now feels like nourishment instead of emptiness. Think of Mary sitting quietly after being told her life would never be the same, not running, not explaining, simply holding the weight of a divine promise in stillness while the world around her remained unaware. And that same quiet courage is being formed in you now. And here is the transition you need to hear clearly, because embodiment follows awareness and integration follows awakening. And this is where your daily choices begin to matter, not from pressure, but from alignment. Your body is asking for gentler fuel, lighter food, cleaner water, more rest, not as rules but as instinct, because it is becoming a vessel that can no longer carry what once kept it numb. Sleep is not indulgence, it is integration, the place where your spirit finishes the work your waking mind cannot. And the sudden need to pause, nap, or withdraw is not laziness, but intelligence. Nature now calls to you because it speaks the language your cells remember, grounding you without effort, reminding you that you belong to creation itself, not to constant performance. Stillness has become a necessity because it is where your alignment recalibrates, where your energy clears, where your inner guidance rises without competition. Your inner dialogue matters more than ever, because at this level, words carry weight and thoughts take root quickly, and the way you speak to yourself is either anchoring you in peace or pulling you back into old patterns you have already outgrown. Be patient with those who do not understand your shift, because not everyone is meant to move at your pace, and resistance from others is not a sign to explain yourself, but a cue to protect your frequency with grace. You are not here to convince, perform, or prove. You are here to embody, and embodiment requires slowness, intention, and trust. This preparation is not something you complete, it is something you live, a quiet devotion to becoming honest with your energy, your needs, and your limits. And as you ease into this higher way of being, you will notice that life begins to reorganize around your peace, not your effort. Do not rush what is rooting, because once you are anchored here, what unfolds next will not need force. It will recognize you as ready. Chosen one, let the pressure fall away right now, because there is nothing you need to fix, prove, or carry to be worthy of what is unfolding. And this season is not asking for more effort, but for permission to pause. You are invited to stop tightening your grip on becoming and simply allow yourself to be where you are without judgment, because alignment begins the moment you stop arguing with your own breath. In ordinary moments, this can look like giving yourself permission to sit for 1 full minute before responding to anything, letting your shoulders drop while you notice the room around you, feeling the ground under your feet, and allowing your body to remember that it is safe. It can be as gentle as choosing one part of the day to move slower than usual, washing your hands with attention, drinking water without distraction, or stepping outside for a few quiet breaths where nothing is expected of you. You don't need to change your life to receive divine movement. You only need to soften your resistance to it, because rest is not the absence of progress but the place where trust takes shape. You may notice moments when your mind wants to plan, worry, or solve what has not yet arrived, and in those moments you are allowed to release the question back to God without needing an answer, simply by saying inwardly that this is not yours to carry right now. Alignment can also be practiced by letting one small thing remain unfinished without guilt, allowing your nervous system to learn that the world does not collapse when you stop pushing. When emotions rise, you are allowed to feel them without analyzing or correcting them, letting tears come and go, letting silence be enough, trusting that release is a form of obedience. Receiving in this season may look like accepting help without explaining yourself, resting when your body asks, or saying no to something that once felt mandatory but now feels heavy. These are not acts of withdrawal, they are acts of faith, because you are acknowledging that God is working beyond your effort. You are not being tested on how much you can endure. You are being carried into a rhythm where grace does the lifting, and you simply stay open. As you allow these small, quiet permissions to shape your days, you may feel lighter without knowing why, steadier without having answers, and that is enough. You do not need to understand the full process, control the outcome, or anticipate the timing, because what has been prepared for you will arrive gently, precisely, and without force, right on time. Chosen one, as these words settle, let your body recognize what your spirit already knows. Nothing you have felt here was random, exaggerated, or misplaced, and every response that stirred within you was a quiet confirmation that you are seen and held. You are not late to your life, not behind in your becoming, and not forgotten in the waiting, because the pace you are moving at matches the season you are in. The fatigue, the sensitivity, the awareness, the longing for rest and truth were not signs of failure, they were signals of alignment, and it is safe now to stop searching for proof. You do not need to figure anything out in this moment or decide what comes next, because the path has already been meeting you step by step, even in the places that felt unclear. Let the tension soften, let the effort loosen, and let yourself be gathered into the stillness that has been quietly supporting you all along. Nothing here needs to be rushed or earned, and nothing about you needs to be corrected to belong. Weeks from now, you may not remember every word, but you will remember how your body felt when you realized you were allowed to stop forcing. You are exactly where you need to be for what is unfolding, and the work being done now is gentle, precise, and faithful. Stay here for a moment longer, allowing the quiet that follows to hold you as we move together into the prayer that comes next. Nothing else matters right now. As we arrive here together, allow the moment to slow you gently, as if you are being held rather than asked to move. God, we come with tired hearts and quiet breaths, carrying the weight of days that felt too long and questions that stayed unanswered, and we place them here without rushing, without explaining, without trying to be strong. You see the exhaustion that words could not hold, the fear about tomorrow, the pressure of having carried responsibility beyond what felt human. And we do not bring these as demands, but as an offering of release, trusting that what is placed in your care no longer needs to be carried alone. For those who feel worn down by effort that did not seem to yield fruit, for those who feel stuck in waiting, unseen in striving, anxious about provision or direction, we name these realities softly before you, knowing that you are near to what is heavy. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He restores my soul. And in these words we rest, letting restoration begin not through understanding, but through presence. We remember the moment when the storm raged and the disciples panicked while Jesus slept in the boat, and how peace arrived, not because the waves were reasoned with, but because he stood and spoke. And in that same way, we trust that calm can enter our inner chaos without us needing to manage it. God, we acknowledge that our strength has limits and that this is not failure but truth, and we welcome your guidance where we feel unsure, your provision where we feel stretched thin, your peace where our thoughts have been restless. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. And we do this now, not dramatically, not perfectly, but honestly, letting anxiety loosen its grip as we hand it over piece by piece. In this space, we affirm that you are working even when we cannot see movement, that you are arranging what concerns us without requiring constant vigilance, that your care does not pause when our faith feels quiet. We declare over every listener a covering of peace that settles the body, a reassurance that steadies the heart, and a trust that grows without force. And we receive the truth that we are allowed to rest while you remain faithful. Let the mind soften, let the breath deepen, let the inner noise fade into the background of your presence, and let hope return gently, not as pressure but as assurance. We release the need to control timing, outcomes, or understanding, choosing instead to lean into the safety of being held, guided, and known. And as this prayer comes to rest, we remain grateful for this shared moment, thankful for the quiet that follows, and honored to have walked with you here, trusting that peace will stay with you as the video closes and carry you gently into whatever comes next. If you feel safe to do so, you're gently invited to leave a few words in the comments, not to explain yourself, but simply to place before God what has been sitting quietly in your heart: a hope, a worry, a question, a pain you've carried alone, knowing that writing it down can be an act of release and trust, not performance. As you do, remember that God sees what is offered in honesty and holds it with care, responding in His time and His way. If this moment brought you peace, you may share this video with someone who needs the same shelter, and subscribe to remain connected to these sacred pauses. You are not alone, and this moment is being held in grace,